All right, folks, let's talk UFOs. Not the kind your weird uncle rants about after a few too many beers. I'm talking about the ones that seem awfully interested in our nukes. Yeah, nukes. The things that can turn our planet into a radioactive barbecue pit. It all started in 1945 in the New Mexico desert. The Trinity test, the world's first atomic bomb detonation, lit up the sky. It was a show of terrifying power. And guess who else seemed to be watching? You got it. Some unidentified flying objects decided to make an appearance. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe something else was going on. Now, I'm not saying little green men were down here checking out our firepower, but these sightings, they kept popping up around nuclear facilities, military bases, places where we kept our deadliest toys. It's enough to make you wonder, right? Look, we're talking about things that defy our understanding of physics, things that could be potentially hostile, and they're hanging around the stuff that could blow us all to kingdom come. Doesn't that strike you as a tad concerning? Scientists and researchers have been scratching their heads over these sightings for decades. Some argue it's just a case of mistaken identity, weather balloons, or experimental aircraft, but others aren't so sure. They believe there's something more to these mysterious visitors. Area 51, the infamous military base, has long been at the center of UFO conspiracy theories. Some say it's where the government hides evidence of extraterrestrial life. Classified documents and whistleblower testimonies have only fueled the speculation. Public demand for transparency has grown over the years, with many calling for the release of all UFO-related information. Even Congress has taken an interest, holding hearings to discuss the potential threat these unidentified objects pose. Military pilots have reported encounters with objects that move at incredible speeds and perform maneuvers that defy the laws of physics. Radar operators have tracked these objects, only to see them disappear without a trace. The data collected from these encounters is often inconclusive, leaving more questions than answers. So, what are we to make of all this? Are we truly alone in the universe, or are we being visited by beings from another world? The vastness of space suggests that we might not be alone. There could be other civilizations out there watching us, studying us. Until we have definitive proof, the mystery of UFOs will continue to captivate our imaginations and fuel our curiosity. One thing is for sure, the day the desert sky lit up in 1945 marked the beginning of a new era, one where the unknown became a little more intriguing. And as we continue to explore the cosmos, we may one day find the answers we're looking for. Until then, keep your eyes on the skies, because you never know what you might see. The truth is out there, waiting to be discovered. And who knows, maybe one day we'll finally understand the mysteries of the universe. Until then, keep wondering, keep exploring, and keep looking up, because the day the desert sky lit up was just the beginning, and the story of UFOs is far from over. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, you're losing it. You've gone off the deep end with this one. This is just conspiracy theory nonsense. It's all just a bunch of wild stories with no real evidence, right? But hold your horses, folks. Before you dismiss it outright, let's take a closer look. There are credible people who've been looking into this. People who have dedicated their lives to uncovering the truth. People like Robert L. Hastings. He's not just some random guy with a wild imagination. Hastings, this guy's like the Indiana Jones of UFO research, except instead of ancient artifacts, he's after government secrets. He's been on this quest for decades. He's spent decades interviewing military personnel, digging through declassified documents. He's been relentless in his pursuit of the truth. And what he's found is pretty damn compelling. It's not just a bunch of hearsay or secondhand stories. See, it turns out those early sightings at Trinity? Not isolated incidents. Hastings uncovered a pattern that spans decades and continents. UFO sightings spiking around nuclear facilities all over the world. It's not just a coincidence, there's something more to it. And these weren't just some blurry lights in the sky, these were well-documented incidents. We're talking about objects tracked on radar, shutting down missile systems. These are serious events with serious implications. These stories, they came from pilots, officers, guys who you wouldn't expect to spin a yarn about little green men. These are people with reputations to uphold. These were hardened military men, trained observers. They know what they're looking at, and they were seeing things that defied explanation. Objects moving in ways that defy our understanding of physics. Imagine being in a control room, watching as an unidentified object moves across the radar screen. It's not following any known flight patterns. It's not responding to any communication attempts. The tension in the room is palpable. These are trained professionals. and they can't explain what they're seeing. It's not a bird, it's not a plane, and it's definitely not Superman. Over the years, there have been numerous reports and briefings. Military personnel have come forward, risking their careers to share what they've witnessed. Retired officers, no longer bound by the constraints of their service, have spoken out. They've shared their stories, backed by declassified documents and corroborated by other witnesses. These are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger pattern that has been observed and documented over decades. The evidence is there, if you're willing to look. So, before you dismiss it as just another conspiracy theory, consider the evidence. Consider the credibility of the people who have come forward. These are not just random individuals with wild imaginations. These are experts, researchers, and military personnel who have dedicated their lives to uncovering the truth. They have nothing to gain and everything to lose by coming forward. So the next time you hear about UFO sightings, don't be so quick to dismiss them. Take a moment to consider the possibility that there might be more to the story. The truth is out there, and it's waiting to be discovered. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll finally uncover the secrets that have been hidden for so long. Until then, keep an open mind and stay curious. The journey to uncover the truth is just beginning. One of the most chilling incidents happened in 1954 during the Castle Bravo test. This test was part of a series of high-yield thermonuclear weapon design tests conducted by the United States. The Castle Bravo test was the first test of a dry-fuel thermonuclear hydrogen bomb, and it yielded an explosion far more powerful than expected. This wasn't just any nuke. This was a hydrogen bomb, 1,000 times more powerful than Hiroshima. The explosion was so massive that it created a fireball that was visible for over 250 miles. The blast vaporized an entire island and left a crater over a mile wide. The fallout from the explosion spread radioactive material over a vast area, affecting nearby inhabited islands and even reaching as far as Japan. And right after the detonation, guess what? A UFO was spotted flying right through the mushroom cloud. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a strange, unidentified object maneuvering through the radioactive cloud, seemingly unaffected by the intense heat and radiation. This sighting added an eerie layer to an already terrifying event, raising questions about the nature and intentions of these mysterious visitors. Then there's Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana. This base has been a key site for the United States nuclear arsenal, housing numerous intercontinental ballistic missiles. Back in 1967, multiple UFOs were seen hovering over the base. These sightings were reported by credible witnesses, including military personnel who were trained to identify and respond to potential threats. And get this, the nukes stored there, they mysteriously malfunctioned. The missiles went into a no-go condition, rendering them inoperable. This incident was thoroughly investigated, but no conventional explanation could be found for the sudden and simultaneous failure of multiple missile systems. Coincidence? I'll let you be the judge. The timing and circumstances of these events suggest something far more deliberate and potentially ominous. And it wasn't just an American thing. Similar incidents have been reported around the world, particularly during the tense years of the Cold War. The Soviets, they had their share of close encounters too. Soviet military personnel reported numerous sightings of unidentified flying objects near their nuclear facilities. One incident involved a UFO reportedly firing beams of light at a nuclear submarine base. The beams were said to have caused disruptions in the base's electronic systems, further adding to the mystery and concern surrounding these encounters. So we've got these things buzzing our nukes, shutting down our weapons systems. These incidents have been documented and reported by credible sources, including military personnel and government officials. It's like they're playing a dangerous game of chicken with the fate of humanity. The implications of these encounters are profound, suggesting that these unidentified objects have the capability to interfere with our most powerful and destructive weapons. And the scariest part? We have no idea why. Are they trying to send us a message? Are they testing our defenses? Or is there some other, even more unfathomable reason behind their actions? The truth remains elusive, leaving us to ponder the potential consequences of these mysterious and unsettling events. So the big question is, why are these UFOs so interested in our nukes? Are they here to disarm us, study us, or worse, wipe us out completely? Look, I don't have all the answers. Nobody does. But there are some theories floating around. Some folks think these beings might be deeply empathetic, that they see our nuclear arsenals and recognize the existential threat we pose to ourselves. Maybe they're trying to send a message, a cosmic wake-up call. Others believe it's purely scientific curiosity, that these UFOs are drawn to the immense energy released by nuclear reactions. Imagine being a species capable of interstellar travel. You'd probably be pretty interested in the universe's most powerful explosions, right? Or maybe, just maybe, it's something we haven't even considered yet, something beyond our current understanding. And that's the thing about the unknown, folks. It's both terrifying and